Chosen one, stop scrolling right now. Lock your attention on this exact message. You did not find this recording by accident today. The system wants you to keep moving and stay completely distracted by the noise of the world. But heaven has orchestrated a divine appointment just for you. There is a profound reason why your life has felt overwhelmingly heavy in the last 72 hours. You have been biting your tongue. You have been staying quiet while they whispered lies about you. It hurts to watch them spin a false narrative. You wanted to defend yourself and scream the truth from the rooftops. But something deep inside your spirit told you to remain absolutely still. You chose to hold your peace when you had every right to destroy them with the truth. That restraint has cost you heavily. You feel a deep physical ache sitting right in the center of your chest. You are waking up exhausted even after sleeping through the night. The people around you think you are just dealing with regular stress. But this is not normal fatigue, and it is definitely not depression. You are experiencing intense spiritual exhaustion from a very silent war. They pushed your buttons on purpose. They wanted to see you react. They needed you to lose your temper so they could finally call you crazy. That is how the enemy operates through broken people. They feed on your chaotic energy and use your emotional reactions to justify their own darkness. But this time, you did something completely unexpected. You gave them nothing. You gave them absolute silence. And I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. That specific moment of silence did not just confuse your enemies. It sent a massive shockwave straight through the unseen realm. What you thought was a moment of weakness was actually the ultimate display of spiritual authority. Heaven was watching you in that exact second. Your refusal to engage has triggered an unprecedented reaction above. The Most High literally silenced the courts of heaven to witness your restraint. Even Archangel Michael and his legions paused their advancement. They were stunned by the immense power you demonstrated by simply doing nothing. You passed the most grueling spiritual test without even realizing you were taking a test. You feel like you are losing your mind sometimes. The isolation makes you question your own sanity. You wonder if God has forgotten about you in this season of waiting. You cry in your car when no one is watching because the weight of being the bigger person is crushing you. It feels entirely unfair that they get to live comfortably while you suffer in silence. But heaven operates on a completely different frequency than the Matrix. Your silent endurance was actually building a massive spiritual dam. The enemy thought they were burying you under their lies and manipulations. They had no idea they were simply planting a seed that is about to explode into a massive harvest. The universe has perfectly timed this revelation for your soul today. Do not let the enemy convince you that your silence was an act of surrender. They want you to feel small and defeated right now. But the truth is, they are terrified of the quiet energy you are radiating. You have stopped playing by their toxic rules and stepped out of the Matrix entirely. And that decision has officially activated the highest levels of divine protection over your life. What heaven is about to reveal next will finally make sense of every tear you cried in secret. God is preparing to issue a divine decree that will alter the course of your entire bloodline. The spiritual warfare you fought in the dark is about to reward you in the most public way possible. You must not click away before you hear this verdict. Your enemies are currently celebrating a victory they have not actually won. They are entirely blind to the massive storm that Archangel Michael is bringing directly to their doorstep. I will reveal exactly what heaven is doing to them in just a moment. Take one deep breath slowly right now. Type 777 in the comments to claim this absolute breakthrough. Before I go any further, I need you to understand something deeply. You have been carrying a tremendous amount of guilt about how you handled things, and you keep replaying the situations in your mind. You wonder if you should have fought back harder. But heaven sees this situation entirely differently. The world teaches us that power is always loud and aggressive. Society expects you to scream when you are constantly disrespected by others. But you are not a part of their broken system because you are a chosen one. And in the spiritual realm, silence is never a sign of cowardice. Silence is wisdom under absolute control. Calm is authority. Let me explain what is actually happening in the spirit realm right now. The enemy sent those specific people to drain your anointing. They knew your words hold immense power to create and destroy. So if they could get you to curse them in anger, they could steal your frequency and use it against you. They desperately needed your emotional reaction. But you completely short-circuited their dark, demonic assignment. You refuse to hand over your peace to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, and that takes a level of strength that most people will simply never possess. Your restraint is not trauma or fear. It is a royal posture. You are behaving exactly like a true king. You did not survive their brutal betrayals because you are just tough. You survived because you are chosen. You are a masterpiece of God. The kindness you showed them was never a weakness on your part, but rather it was a rigorous and silent divine test that you did not even know you were taking. And you passed it with absolute flying colors. Many chosen ones fail to recognize the magnitude of this quiet test. They let their flesh take over and they fight back with bitter words. That reaction immediately traps them in a cycle of heavy karma, but you chose to step back and let the universe handle your defense entirely. You officially broke the cycle. You are the generational cycle breaker. Think back to the strange stillness you felt deep in your exhausted soul. While your mind was racing with anger, your spirit anchored you to the ground. That was not your own willpower keeping your mouth completely shut, but it was the Holy Spirit physically restraining you from interfering with a divine trap. God needed you out of the way. Your isolation right now is not a punishment for being too quiet. It is a divine quarantine to protect your precious frequency. The people who walked away from you were actually removed by heavenly forces, and God is clearing your inner circle right now because your next season requires total purity. You cannot enter it with their chaos. You are officially released from the burden of healing toxic people. You do not owe them a single explanation for your new boundaries. Let them misunderstand your silence, and let them assume whatever they want to assume about your changing character. Your energy is far too expensive to spend on their cheap drama. You are completely untouchable now. This brings us to the exact reason heaven brought you here today. The spiritual war you have been fighting quietly is shifting into a new phase. You have proven that you can handle the immense weight of true power. Because you did not use your anointing to seek petty revenge, heaven fully trusts you to handle what comes next. God is preparing to hand you the kingdom. You must stop looking back at what you lost in this painful process. Those losses were actually heavy anchors that were keeping you stagnant. You are not starting over from the very bottom, but you are finishing the final stage of your royal preparation. The delay you experienced was not a denial. God was simply using exactness for your life. Something massive is shifting in the atmosphere right at this very moment. Your quiet victory has set the stage for a miraculous intervention. But there is another layer to this mystery that you must uncover right now, because the enemies who plotted against you are starting to realize their terrible mistake. I will reveal exactly what is happening next. Now, let us look at the people who intentionally tried to break you. They are currently experiencing a terrifying level of spiritual confusion. They threw every weapon they had at your spirit, and they truly expected you to shatter into pieces. But your absolute silence became a massive mirror that reflected their own dark energy right back to them. Narcissistic forces operate like parasites in the spiritual realm. They cannot produce their own divine light to survive. They survive by stealing the divine frequency from chosen ones like you. When they provoke you, they cast a dark net to catch your precious energy while hoping you will react with bitter anger. But because you refuse to engage, their trap came up completely empty. This starvation has sent extreme panic through their entire camp. They do not know how to handle someone they cannot control. They are scrambling to find new ways to push your buttons, but every trap they set is mysteriously failing right in front of their eyes. The system is breaking down because you permanently removed your emotional supply. They thought your quietness meant you were weak and defeated. They bragged to others about how easily they destroyed your reputation. But behind closed doors, they are absolutely suffocating under a heavy blanket of dread because a strange anxiety is keeping them awake at night. They feel the impending weight of divine justice approaching quickly. You are the discerning warrior in this exact situation. You can physically feel the atmosphere shifting around you right now. The universe is actively turning their evil intentions against them, and what they whispered in secret is being shouted from the spiritual rooftops for everyone to hear. Their fake masks are violently slipping off for the world to witness. God allowed them to push you to the edge for a specific reason. Heaven needed to expose their true nature before you moved forward. If they had stayed in your life, they would have completely ruined your harvest and drained the blessings God prepared. Your silence was the tool the Holy Spirit used to reveal their hidden betrayal. They dug their own grave. Right now, deep confusion is hitting their dark camp. They are starting to turn on each other in absolute desperation. The loyalty they faked is dissolving into pure chaos and mutual destruction, while they experience the exact spiritual exhaustion they tried to inflict upon you. The divine law of return is working flawlessly on your behalf today. As a powerful empath, you might feel a sudden urge to warn them. You might want to reach out and offer them a lifeline out of pity. Do not make that terrible mistake under any circumstances. You must let the universe complete this specific cycle of justice without your interference, because they must consume the bitter fruit they planted. They hated the bright light inside you that exposed their darkness. They tried to extinguish your flame by isolating you completely, but they accidentally pushed you straight into the loving arms of the divine, and your frequency has ascended far beyond their limited earthly reach. They can only watch you rise from the very bottom of the valley. This brings us to a very critical point in your journey. The matrix is completely losing its tight grip on your future. But heaven is not just punishing your enemies to teach them a simple lesson. God is orchestrating a massive transfer of authority directly into your hands, and something breathtaking is about to happen behind the spiritual veil. You have no idea how much danger your enemies are currently in. They foolishly picked a fight with a child of the Most High God. They thought they were battling an ordinary person from their neighborhood, but they actually declared a full spiritual war against your angelic protection. They are completely outmatched and outgunned in every possible way. I need you to pause and really hear this next part. The universe has officially marked this day for your complete vindication. But before the final decree is spoken over your life, you must understand the heavenly forces at play. Archangel Michael is not standing by as a silent observer anymore, because he is preparing to execute a divine mandate on your behalf. Let me walk you through the exact blueprint of this spiritual breakthrough. You must understand why your silence was the absolute hardest test. Human nature screams at us to fight back when attacked. It takes zero effort to let anger destroy someone with careless words. But holding back that immense power requires a supernatural discipline that they do not have. You are a masterpiece of God. You have the exact same spiritual fire inside you that prophets used to call down lightning. You knew their darkest secrets, and you could have ruined them instantly. But you chose to be the quiet victor instead. You swallowed your pride because your spirit knew that vengeance belongs only to the Most High. That level of extreme restraint is what caught the attention of Archangel Michael. Michael is the ultimate warrior of heaven. He leads the angelic armies into brutal battles against dark forces every single day. And he is fully accustomed to answering the desperate cries of people begging for immediate revenge. But your situation was entirely different. When the enemy attacked your life, Michael drew his sword and prepared his legions. He waited for you to speak the word so he could strike them down. But instead of cursing your enemies, you chose absolute silence. You did not ask heaven to destroy them. You simply surrendered the entire situation and walked away with your head held high. That response literally left heaven speechless. Archangel Michael was stunned by your supreme emotional control. He realized that he did not need to fight a battle for you because you had already won the war inside your own mind. By refusing to engage with lower frequencies, you proved that you are completely immune to demonic manipulation. God was watching this exact moment with profound pride. The Creator saw that you can be trusted with massive authority. If you had used your spiritual gifts to crush your enemies, it would have shown that you are still bound by earthly ego. But your silence proved that you are ready for a monumental promotion. The test is officially over. You are the true cycle breaker of your bloodline. For generations, your family fought petty wars and carried bitter grudges to their graves. But the toxic cycle completely stops with you today. Heaven is rewriting your spiritual DNA right now to hold a massive amount of new frequency, and you are stepping into a realm of pure, unshakable peace. Gently, like this video, right now, not for an algorithm, but as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in alignment. We do not do this for visibility. We do it to lock your frequency into this divine appointment. You must confirm that you are ready to receive the heavy mantle that God is placing on your shoulders today. The exhaustion you felt over the last 3 days is finally lifting. It is being replaced by a strange and powerful warmth spreading through your chest. That is the physical sensation of heaven downloading new instructions directly into your spirit. Your enemies are completely locked out of this sacred transmission, and they cannot hear what God is telling you. Your quiet authority has shifted the entire power dynamic in the spiritual realm. The angels are no longer waiting for your command. They are moving forward with a very specific decree to dismantle the matrix around you. And what they are about to do to those who betrayed you will leave a permanent mark on history. The final verdict is here. Do not let your mind wander for even a second. We are approaching the most crucial moment of this entire revelation. The heavy doors that were glued shut are vibrating on their hinges. Heaven is preparing to release the exact judgment and the exact reward that your soul has been crying out for. You are about to witness true divine justice. Listen carefully as we transition into this holy decree. Your spirit has endured enough pain and betrayal for one lifetime, and it is time for you to collect the massive compensation that the universe owes you. The season of you being a footstool for their fragile ego is permanently over. The universe is completely flipping the script right now. I declare right now that the season of your suffering is officially over. In the mighty name of the Creator, I break every generational chain that tried to bound your spirit. The universe has issued a divine decree in the highest courts of heaven today. Your enemies have been carefully weighed in the spiritual scales, and they have been found completely lacking. Remember the legions of Archangel Michael preparing for a massive battle. They are descending directly into the camp of those who betrayed your pure heart. Michael is not just scattering your enemies today. He is completely dismantling the toxic matrix they used to trap your soul. The exact confusion they tried to cast onto your mind is violently returning to their own doorstep. Watch them panic as your divine peace becomes entirely untouchable. They fully expected you to break down and beg for their toxic validation. But God is setting a massive table for you right in the physical presence of your enemies. They will have to stand there and watch you eat from the glorious harvest they desperately tried to destroy. You do not even have to lift a single finger. This is exactly why heaven was left absolutely speechless by your quiet endurance. You surrendered your burning human need for immediate earthly revenge. And because you willingly gave up the right to fight back, God has taken over the battle completely. The Most High is stepping in as your ultimate defense attorney. The verdict is absolute vindication for every tear you shed in secret. You are officially stepping out of survival mode today. You are a chosen one who has been flawlessly forged in the hottest fires of betrayal. I decree that the heavy mantle of true royalty is descending upon your shoulders right now. You are not just a tired survivor anymore. You are entering your season of quiet authority as a fully crowned spiritual victor. The Matrix wanted you completely drained and financially desperate. They wanted you to constantly settle for the miserable crumbs they threw at your feet. But heaven is completely bypassing their corrupt earthly system this very second. A massive mega deposit of sudden wealth and spiritual clarity is being unlocked for your bloodline. God is paying you back for everything the enemy stole. Every heavy door that was glued shut is flying wide open today. The painful delay you suffered was simply heaven preparing a container large enough to hold this massive blessing. You are about to receive double portion for every ounce of pain you bravely endured. Your physical body is being entirely restored from the intense exhaustion of the silent war. Breathe in this powerful healing right now. I forcefully sever every energetic cord connecting you to the narcissists who drained you. They no longer have any spiritual access to your high frequency. Their names are permanently erased from your personal book of life. You will walk forward with joy, and you will never carry the heavy baggage of their unresolved trauma again. You are finally free from healing people who want to stay broken. You can literally feel the massive shift vibrating in the room right now. Your hands might feel warm as this prophetic decree seals your eternal fate. The universe is actively responding to your pure energy and elevating you far above the chaos. Do not shrink back from the incredible magnitude of this divine blessing. You earned this exact reward through your painful and silent obedience. But to fully receive and protect this mega deposit, you must understand one final mystery. There is a strict spiritual law you must obey as you boldly step into this new authority. Many chosen ones lose their massive harvest because they foolishly break this exact rule. I will reveal the absolute law of silence you must keep in the next moment to guard your new throne. Let the dust settle from that massive decree. You are holding a highly precious new frequency. But here is where most people completely miss the blessing. They receive a massive breakthrough from heaven, and they immediately run to tell everyone they know about their sudden victory. You must not make that critical mistake. Your next divine assignment is absolute silence. You have to protect this delicate seed while it takes root in the dark. The enemy cannot stop what heaven has already released to you. God has permanently sealed your mega deposit. But dark forces will try to use the jealousy of ordinary people to drain your excitement. They want you to cast your precious pearls before swine. If you carelessly share your sacred victories with completely unhealed people, danger strikes. Their hidden envy immediately creates a highly toxic spiritual leak in your protective armor. You must keep your mouth completely shut. Do not post your new blessings on the internet. Do not call your old friends to brag about how God restored your life. They will simply smile at your face while secretly praying for your sudden downfall in the dark. You are a discerning warrior, and you already know exactly who truly supports your vision and who secretly hopes you will fail. Keep your circle extremely small and heavily guarded. Your quiet authority requires a fortress of absolute privacy to thrive properly. People from your past will definitely notice the shift in your life. They will see the heavy favor resting on your shoulders. The narcissists who cruelly discarded you will definitely try to circle back into your life when they finally see your sudden and undeniable elevation. They will send a casual message to test if your energetic door is still open to them. You must block their physical access without giving them a single word of explanation. Silence is your best weapon. You do not owe anyone an apology for your strict new boundaries. For years, you acted as an emotional sponge for their toxic waste. You poured from an empty cup until your spirit was dangerously depleted. But you are officially retired from healing people who refuse to heal themselves. Your only job right now is to be a faithful steward of the massive wealth and peace heaven just handed you. You might feel a strange sense of guilt as this massive blessing manifests. Empaths always struggle to accept pure joy when others around them are in deep pain. The enemy will use that false guilt to make you reject your own harvest. Do not fall for that sneaky psychological trap today. You paid the ultimate physical and emotional price in the dark valleys to earn this exact season of bright light. You fully deserve every single beautiful thing coming your way. Walk with the quiet pride of a true masterpiece of God. Let them wonder how you recovered so quickly from the heavy damage they caused. Let them be deeply confused by your unshakable daily joy. You do not need their fragile earthly validation to confirm your new royal status, because heaven has already validated your true identity in front of the entire angelic host. Your only responsibility is to remain deeply grounded in your new spiritual truth. Whenever you feel the sudden urge to explain yourself, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and immediately step back into your quiet power. The matrix feeds on endless explanations and highly chaotic drama, but the kingdom of heaven operates entirely on stillness and divine trust. By staying perfectly silent, you are actively starving the demonic forces that used to feast on your precious emotional reactions. Protect your physical energy with extreme dedication right now. The massive spiritual upgrade you just received requires immense biological energy to fully integrate, so you might feel unusually quiet or sleepy over the next few days. Honor that divine request for healing, rest, and do not force yourself to socialize. This stewardship is the final rigorous test of your royal preparation. God is actively watching how you manage this newfound peace. We are about to seal this entire revelation with a final spiritual lock. You have walked through the fire and emerged completely purified. The next powerful words spoken over your life will build a permanent, energetic shield around your aura to protect you from future attacks. You must not leave this sacred sanctuary before we officially close the divine portals. I need you to prepare your heart to receive the final closing blessing. Let the profound peace of this moment completely wash over your tired soul right now. Every ounce of anxiety and heavy dread is instantly melting away from your physical body. You are entirely safe in this divine sanctuary today. The invisible war you fought so bravely is officially over. You do not have to look over your shoulder ever again, because the highest legions of heaven are fiercely guarding your back. I speak an absolute and permanent seal of divine protection over your entire life. Every single dark arrow that the toxic enemy tries to shoot directly at your heart will instantly turn to absolute dust. Your mind is completely shielded from their toxic projections. They simply cannot reach your new high frequency. You are heavily surrounded by an impenetrable fortress of pure angelic light. Nothing can break through this holy and sacred barrier. Take a slow and deep breath right now. Drop your tense shoulders and release the massive burden you have carried for years. You are not responsible for fixing broken people. Let them walk their own path while you confidently step into the glorious light. Your energy is finally yours to keep and nurture forever, and you will never have to sacrifice your own peace to make someone else feel comfortable in their own mess. Subscribe to this sanctuary and gently turn on the bell so the dark enemy cannot ever intercept your future divine messages. We are building a powerful community of true cycle breakers. You need a safe place to rest your weary spirit. The Matrix will constantly try to drain your daily frequency. Locking your connection here ensures you will never miss a heavenly upgrade again. Leave a specific word of gratitude in the comments below right now. We absolutely do not do this for earthly visibility or hollow algorithmic vanity. We do it as a physical and spiritual seal of absolute agreement with the universe. Your typed words are a powerful physical declaration that you fully accept the massive mega deposit heaven just released to you. Claim your royal and divine inheritance today without fear. From this exact second forward, you walk with the quiet authority of a true king. Your presence alone will command deep respect without you ever having to raise your voice. People will physically feel the massive shift in your bright aura. They will notice the change when you walk into a normal room, and they will secretly wonder how you became so completely untouchable while they are still drowning in their childish, worldly drama. Do not give them a single clue about your divine secret. Let your unshakable silence be the loudest statement you ever make to your old enemies. They will scramble in pure chaos to find new emotional victims. You will be quietly enjoying the massive harvest God prepared for you. The universe is actively aligning every single detail of your new life because heaven fully recognizes your beautiful and quiet victory. The generational curses that plagued your ancestors are completely shattered. You are the specific chosen one they prayed for during their darkest nights. You carried the heavy torch through the dangerous and wild wilderness. You successfully brought your entire bloodline straight into the promised land. Heaven deeply honors your silent sacrifice, and the entire universe is finally bowing down to your beautiful, quiet authority today. Your days of crying alone in your dark car are permanently finished. Heaven has carefully collected every single tear you shed over the years. God turned them into a massive river of endless financial abundance. The delays and the painful rejections were simply the exact preparation you needed. You are a magnificent masterpiece of God, and your bright light is finally ready to blind the dark earthly matrix forever. Walk forward into tomorrow with absolute confidence and a perfectly still mind, because the Creator of the entire universe is holding your right hand tightly. He is gently guiding your every single step towards the ultimate victory. You are completely loved and deeply protected by invisible forces. Rest quietly tonight, my beautiful fellow chosen one. Your season of quiet triumph has officially begun.